Right. Welcome, traders, to the free trading session today. How's everybody doing this morning? See how many folks decide to pop in today for the session. Hang on a second, guys. My son is not happy right now. Be right there. One second. I'll let people join. 1 second. All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. We got some time, right? We're waiting on Filecoin. If you guys are just joining us, we are in a live Filecoin trade. We have an entry right around this area right here on this 449 region. And we're waiting for this break, right? So we can see the volume receding here, so we know that there's a move coming. And if we zoom out on the chart, I just want to teach you guys, all right? So it's really all about the momentum, guys. That's all we need to understand in these markets is how to trade with the momentum, okay? So if you don't have a stochastic RSI on your chart, make sure you guys add that. That is one of the most important things to look at, okay? So last night in our alert service here, we took a trade based off the momentum, and obviously also we're at like a pretty big area on this Filecoin chart, okay? If we zoom out, you always want to zoom out on the charts, guys, all right? If you look left, you can see this was a big area of support here, okay? We used this area here to take us, once we reclaim this support area, we were able to get up to about $8.55. So if this area is holding as support, this is a great area to take a trade because we know as soon as we get back above this 465 region, we could see a move back up, right? And so let's zoom out and take a look at the daily momentum here. And this is why, I mean, obviously you want to enter the trades right when you're crossing 20 on the daily, but we got the daily buy signal already. We still know that we're still towards the bottom of this range. That's why we're okay with taking a trade down here. You know, we didn't catch the bottom wick at 427, but that's okay. We're expecting this at least to go test up to the top side of this range, which is around that $5.20 region. Now, this can take some time, all right? And everyone knows that you can't get rich overnight here, right? So you got to remain patient, continue to follow the momentum oscillators here. The daily is still pointing up. The 2-day chart is just now curling around. Like it hasn't even crossed above 20 yet, okay? So if the daily can hang on to its momentum, that means the 2-day eventually will catch up to that and we'll see that big push, okay? This movement might not happen until tomorrow or the next day, but we're in the trade already. We want to stay in this trade as the momentum starts to swing up. That's how we're going to be able to catch this big move up on Filecoin. All right, guys? And this is kind of what I want to teach you guys. This is applicable to any asset, not just Filecoin. I liked Filecoin because of it's in the wedge formation, right? So the wedge formation, these formations typically break to the upside about 70% of the time. And the good part is we're catching this towards the bottom of the wedge, right? So we're getting a good entry. We're not trading the breakout per se. We're just trading the movement up to the resistance level, which if we want to let our trade run because we think maybe this is going to break out, well, guess what? We can take profit into this resistance because it may not break out right away. Maybe it just sits up here, right? What happens if we don't get the volume break? right? That way we know while this move is happening, it's going to go and test this before it comes down. Like, let's just say it tests this and doesn't break out. We're going to get like a long-legged wick, right? Or we're going to get a rejection candle. We can exit our trade into the rejection candle and wait to see what happens. Okay, if the asset decides to reject that region, well, guess what? We can take a short trade, and maybe this does break down, right? But the momentum right now is telling us that it's probably going to break to the upside because we have the daily momentum is pointing up. The 2-day momentum is down there below 20. So below 20, we haven't got the 2-day signal yet, but the daily already is signaling to us this is in the buy zone. Okay, and so that's something I want to explain to you guys, and you guys should really be. We can utilize this method on really any chart. It doesn't just have to be Filecoin, but I like the Filecoin setup here. I think it's at a great area of inflection, and if you really do zoom out, you can see this could be a potential area for an inverse head and shoulders type of structure, which is why I'm thinking that eventually, if it does break this region, we could eventually see this $8.40 area as it gets back above, the 460 region. Okay. Now, this may not happen while I'm on live stream, and that's fine. I honestly don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm in the trade, okay? And that's kind of the whole point. And so where would we set a stop loss in case this trade just decides to, get rejected here and break down, which is also a possible scenario. This may not break this trend line right here because we don't have the volume, right? But we're sitting and we're basing right off this support. So I think there's a really, really, really high probability chance that we actually do break above this region and touch and test the 516 area before we maybe come back down. All right. You guys have any questions or comments? I know I'm talking fast here, and maybe you guys can't hear me. It says there's only 4 people on here. Is that accurate? I know it's early in the morning, but around the globe, it's not. Tamir, how we doing, brother? Toe? Flap, what's up? Okay, cool. What do you guys think of the what do you guys think of the analysis here? Coffee and coins, yeah. Nice. Yeah, so we're looking for a break on this trend line right here. All right, and so this is that area that I keep talking about, this 460 area. If it gets above this area, you can see what happens if we get above this region. We'll probably shoot up to that 570 region. Like, yeah, there's no reason why if it does get above this level here, it should be on its way to a markup in price. All right, and the daily stochastics are pointing up. We got a daily cross on the MACD. Lots of things here are lining up for a move up. Okay, and so it's not just like one thing that I'm looking at. It's the momentum. It's the MACD. It's the RSI down here at 30 on the RSI. I mean, it's in a value area here on the daily chart. Okay. So just need patience is all. Everyone wants to get rich tomorrow or today. Tomorrow. Everyone wants to get rich now, but these are the types of trades that might take some time to play out. Right. And we have the low and the higher low on the RSI, and that low corresponds to this low here. So, I mean, it's not really a divergence because it's not a lower low on price, but it's still correlating to be a potential low that we can trade based off of. Okay. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin's doing here. So Bitcoin also is trying to reset its oscillator here on the 4-hour. the 3 hour, we can already see the stochastics pointing back up. We got a 3 hour MACD cross. So the momentum on Bitcoin here over the course of the next few hours, we could see a bit of a pop back up to maybe that 27 range. I have this level marked off, this 27.2 area. We need to actually reclaim that area to go back into this this range up here. But I have this kind of mapped out. So what Bitcoin could do is it could come back up to the top of this trend line right here, get rejected, and we make one more low. And this pop back up is where I think Filecoin maybe can go test that, that 520 range. Okay, if Bitcoin pops up, okay, that's kind of what we're looking at right now on that. And so I'm thinking about a pop up here on Bitcoin to that $27,000, $28,000 range, and then maybe we come back down and retest this demand zone right here around 25.8K, this liquidity area here, and that's when we really take off and break this structure. That would be the bottom of this channel, which would be an ideal spot to reload on a long. All right. And yeah, I mean, we can see the daily momentum here for Bitcoin is just crossing above 20. So we got the buy signal here on the daily for the momentum oscillator. The two day hasn't really started to show signs yet. We need the daily momentum to really start picking up for the 2 day to sort of start flipping that momentum. Okay, and I'm going to say the 3 day. I'm going to obviously say the days after the daily here are probably not going to show those signs of reversal just yet because the daily is still maturing, right? And what we're really looking for is this weekly to kind of change its momentum. Right now, the weekly is actually presenting us with a sell signal, okay? Because we're all the way up here and we're about to cross below 80. All right. So, but if the daily starts changing its momentum now, and the 2 day and 3 day start to shift back up, this could actually negate this sell signal, and we can actually just stay at this overbought level here for quite some time. Bitcoin's done that many times in the past. You can see this leg up here in November to 2021. That was this leg up here, right? Right. So we became overbought around this 45 region and stayed overbought for a few months. Okay, so we could stay overbought for a few months. The difference here is that the RSI isn't necessarily overbought on the weekly chart. We're actually around 58. So we're in the bullish territory. All right. So we're expecting potentially a continuation up here if we get it. You can see the volume kind of tapering off here. So Bitcoin's setting up for a move here in the interim, or like the shorter term time scales. And so we could just see some consolidation in this level, in this region for a bit before the momentum really starts to pick back up again. But like I said, if we really want to see momentous move, we got to see that weekly kind of change gears. And that's kind of what we're waiting for, all right? But in the meantime, we're positioning ourselves into some swing trades and into some trades here that we can maybe catch up, maybe some smaller movements. Doesn't have to be a huge move to make money, right, guys? So that's kind of the gist of what I'm looking at here, guys. And hopefully you guys like the content that I'm putting out here for you. Make sure you guys smash up the like button if you guys like it. We can look at some other coins too. You guys want to throw those in the chat, we can take a look at them. Obviously, Filecoin's not really doing too much right now because Bitcoin's not doing really too much right now. But like I said, we're looking for this break. Once we get this break, we're going to see some movement, and that should be great for everybody. So OP, sure, let's take a look at it. OP sitting at a major support level here. We identified this the other day. All right, major support, major structure that it's in this channel up. All right, the daily momentum is is looking like it's kind of topped out here. Okay, you can see the momentum oscillator is kind of coming back down. But this could be a shorter term move down because look where you're at on the RSI. The RSI is not necessarily in the overbought range. We're like, sort of in the bearish control zone right now. And so what that means is we could just retest this low, all right, and look for that double bottom type of movement on the daily. The 4 hour, I'm sure, is getting a reset here. Right there it is. The 4 hours is ticking back up. So we reset that. We're resetting the oscillator there on the 4 hour chart. So what that could mean is that we're going to go back up to test the top of the range in some time. So we have this bottom, and we just made what looks to be maybe a double bottom on the 4 hour chart, and we could see OP maybe trade back up to the top of this range as the 4 hour momentum shifts. Okay, that's what you want to be looking out for there. And it looks great. It's got lots of room on the relative strength to make that move, and the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, is looking like the negative momentum is subsiding here. So we could see that movement back up. You have a bit of hidden bullish divergence here on the oscillator. All right. So over the next 4 to 6 hours, we could see OP make a movement back up, like I said, towards the top of that range. Looks good. And from a longer term perspective, if you zoom out, you can see that you're at the long-term channel area where you get buying pressure to come in, right? So this could be a great place to take a longer term swing trade, or maybe add or start building a position for the longer term. Because as we know, OP is a layer 2 for Ethereum. Right, and you have this channel here. You can see that that's basically a bull flag, right? So you have your flag here, and you're at the bottom of that flag right now, and this could mean something like this in the future. Okay, maybe a $5 OP. Again, we don't have lots of data on this asset, but we can see that what it's been trying to do. Right, it's kind of repeating the same type of structure, same type of pattern. Another asset that's doing something interesting is Aptos, right? Aptos is in a nice bull flag here as well. It got a nice bounce off the 50% retracement level, and it looks like it's now retesting this area. But we call this a type 2 return. All right. And the reason why it's called a type 2 is because you have a reaction bounce off this level here. You made a small movement up, got rejected, and you're coming back down, but there isn't a lot of selling pressure right now. And it looks to me like it's making maybe a double bottom here. All right. And a double bottom is confirmation that a low has been put in, and the momentum should start to shift back. And we probably will test the downsloping resistance area here. I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to break out right away. We could get this test up here and come back down, and then make another higher low, and then break out. But this could take some time, okay? And I'm looking at a 4 hour chart. The momentum is ticked back up here. You guys can see momentum is starting to tick back up. This asset probably does make that movement back up that I'm talking about. It could take some time. It could take maybe another 4 to 8 hours for this oscillation to come to fruition. If we go to the daily chart, the daily stochastics are up here already, signaling that maybe it could see a little bit more downside, but the 4 hour is starting to reset itself. So we know that even though the daily momentum is coming down, we haven't actually got a sell signal on this until we break below this 80 region. So this could stay up here for some time with the 4 hour trending up. So you got kind of a conflicting of momentum, which should probably hold the price, in that region, which is why I'm saying we could see that double bottom, right? And your RSI is down here in the buying zone, the 30 region, right? You don't want to be really taking short trades down here. Short trades are really profitable when you're overbought or you're extended on the relative strength, and you maybe are showing that bearish divergence, which we're actually not showing bearish divergence on the daily. We're actually showing the low and a higher low on our MACD with a bullish cross. So we're actually looking for upside on this movement, okay? And our 2-day stochastics, when in doubt, zoom out. The 2-day stochastics are actually showing us that we are entering, or we're just signaling a buy on the 2-day chart. All right, so we could see some movement coming in here for Aptos. This is another major layer 1. We called this out in January when it was $3, and this made a run. We did a short video on it actually. So this is in a setup, for sure in a setup, and we're waiting to see how this one plays out. CAD's getting wrecked. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in that downsloping flag. It still has room to go down on the oscillator too, right? The 2-day. So the buying rules, you guys know, if you guys are part of the alert service, you guys know that the rules are for buying long term, you know, you want to be below the 21 EMA on the 2-day chart. All right, you guys can always reference these if you're part of the alert service in the alerts FAQ. You want to be below the 21 EMA and the 200-day moving average. You want to be below 26 on the RSI and below 20 on the stochastics. So we're not below 26 on the RSI. We are below 20 on the stochastics. So we've met one of the criteria for buying. And the 200 MA we can't really track. This is an asset that's kind of new, so we don't really know that, but we can also maybe use some Fibonacci to find an area of confluence, and the area of value potentially could be, you know, at this 3-2 fib extension, because we know the 2-day chart still has some room to run down, and a reversal off the 3-2 fib extension would still be a bullish reversal. All right, anywhere between the 382 and the 618. We could get bullish reversals. And if we even get a deeper retracement, you know, like down to a 786, obviously these are really big areas of value, and we look for these all the time in the swing trades if we get them. But if we're flagging up here and this asset is in demand, we could see this, you know, just reverse off the 382 fib extension and, you know, kind of reverse its trend, right? And so that's kind of what you want to, if you're trading this asset, it's kind of what you want to look out for. But I'm seeing maybe some more downside on this asset. The daily is already getting to be oversold, so we could maybe start bouncing right here, or yeah, maybe right here. And we could bounce right back into the structure and maybe make like a higher low there or something, and then try to reverse at the 236 fib extension, because we're basically right there. But the 2-day has a bit of room to come down on the RSI. But like I said, the daily we could get a bounce. I mean, we're already oversold, so pay attention to that. That looks interesting. I think we gave a setup on 1 inch, right? 1 inch is in a setup. We're looking for the entry down here at the bottom if we can get it, this 38-cent level. This is like a Gartley setup here on 1 inch, and you can see that our stochastics on the daily are pointing down, but we're severely oversold, right? So we could definitely start accumulating this asset right here, but it would be of benefit to potentially wait for the momentum to swing back up on the daily. The 8-hour chart, the 8-hour chart's actually starting to swing back up right now. So taking like a short-term trade here might be in the cards, right? We're already pretty close to that value zone, that value area, the double support line here around 38.4. So it could get a snapback right here. It may not get to this low if Bitcoin just sits up here and doesn't go down. Then we could see this asset kind of reverse where we're at. So this could be another potential trade setup. You've done, I want to say, close to a 786 retracement from this low to this high. 886, even better. That's a really, really deep retracement. 88.6% retracements are some of the deepest retracements, and probably one of the most profitable areas to take long trades. If you're showing the divergence and if you're showing the momentum oscillators telling you that we're going to see reversal at this area, right? So that's the whole thing, is you want to be paying attention to the momentum. And the 8-hour momentum is looking good. It's sitting down here around 30. Okay, so you're still, I mean, yes, you're in bearish territory on the RSI, and you're kind of just consolidating here on the 8-hour. On the 4-hour chart, we kind of have that low and same low. We're just getting a 4-hour stochastic cross, so this is looking actually really good to take a trade potentially. We just said that the 4-hour and the 8-hour are looking like they're going to head back up. The daily still has some room to come down, but we could see an oscillation you know, you could catch a short-term move on this right here. Maybe you just get a retest of this, you know, 42-cent area and then come back down and make a lower low, right? And that lower low would be around that demand zone down here on 37 cents. Okay, so you could, like I said, you could take a short-term trade on this here. It looks like it's in a potential area for a movement back up. And what you could do is just kind of draw a trend line and know that if you start to break this trend line, we could see some nice price action back to the upside, right? That's 1 inch. So ARPA chain, I think I called this one out the other day and told you guys that this one was making some moves, or was going to make some moves. And yeah, this one's in a big setup here, guys. I don't know what this coin does, but you guys see this bottoming action here. This is not something to ignore. This is signs of accumulation. You can see the low, the higher low, the higher low, and you're coming up to the test of top of this range here. And you break that, you're probably going to go to 8 cents. That's that next real area of volume area here. And this one I think is going to probably do some big movements. Look at the daily momentum. Look at the stochastics crossing up on the daily here, and so this is telling me a continuation for this structure. And the two day isn't really giving us that information here, but the daily right now is looking pretty good, and our weekly stochastics are pointing up, right? So our daily and our weekly are looking pretty good here, and you can see the MACD kind of picking up this positive momentum again. And there's a lot of separation on this MACD, which means there could be a really big move. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what this coin does, but there could be a lot of upside with this one. All right. Injective Protocol, you guys know, my favorite coin. Beautiful structure, holding the channel up here. This is going to trek back on up to about that 940 region. You guys can clearly see that this channel is being respected. And the daily momentum swinging back up, the 2-day momentum's just swinging back up. Like, this is the type of stuff, guys. If you understand how to read the momentum on the charts, life-changing stuff, okay? So I hope I'm not like beating a dead horse here and you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. I'm not really getting too much feedback from you guys in the chat. But the focus is really on the momentum oscillators. And obviously finding some confluence, and obviously those areas maybe on the Fibonacci levels that, you know, we could see reversals at. Those are all really important things to find confluence and find trade setups, divergence, right? All those things. If you can understand what's happening there and trade with the momentum, you're set. All right. Thanks, Toe. Appreciate the feedback, man. Perfect, Flap. Good job, man. So as you guys know, we gave the INJ trade setup last July when we bottomed out around this 160 area. We're still in the trade, guys. We're still in this trade. This is a long-term play for me. This asset's giving 16% APY for staking. I have a target here of about $100 by the end of the cycle. Cheers. Mass coin, we call this one out too. This beautiful structure here, this 1, 2, 3. We got 3 rising valleys and in a parabola type of structure, falling wedge breakout, right? We know the target is probably the top of the wedge, which is $18. Guys, this is a massive trade. It's a massive move as well, all right? Right, the 2-day. Look at the 2-day buy signal. We already had it. Look, we even have the RSI break right here. We even talked about it here. You can see I drew this out, probably on a 4-hour time scale. Yeah. Talked about it back here. It was an 8-hour. I don't remember what time scale I drew this on. It was a 2-day chart. Anyways, it was spoken about days ago while it was making that kind of reversal right down here at the bottom of the wedge, right? The wedge break. Looking pretty good there on Mask Coin, okay? What's DOT looking like these days? All right, so double bottom here on DOT. Some nice accumulation happening at this major level. Okay, I do see that DOT. You can see the momentum is starting to go into the extended region here, but the 2-day probably just starting its move. Yeah, so I think DOT's setting up for a big move. Okay, just gonna look out for that. I think DOT is gonna move pretty big in the next coming days, weeks, right? Because these oscillators take some time to start their move, right? The last time we had a 2-day stochastic cross was here in March. It didn't really surmount into a big move because we didn't have like lots of divergence. Right now, you can see the low and the lower low with roughly the same low on price. We are having massive 2-day bullish divergence on Polkadot right now. And you can see the volume receding here. There's a big movement coming here for DOT. It wouldn't shock me at all if we saw a $7.50 DOT in the coming weeks. All right. DYDX, this one made a major run here in the early part of the cycle. It's holding this trend line right here. I have this drawn out. We haven't yet got the 2-day cross. Weekly momentum is also still pointing down here. Let's go to like the 2-day starting to cross back up. Daily crossed up. Okay, so daily and 2-day, or daily's crossed up with stochastics pointing up, with the volume also receding. We're sitting on a major trend line right here. This could be double bottoming. This could be doing something where we could strategize maybe a trade setup, right? If we go to the 8-hour chart, you can still kind of see we're sitting there. The 8-hour stochastics are pointing down right now. The 4-hour is looking like maybe we're bottoming out on the 4-hour here. So yeah, let's just keep our eyes kind of peeled to this trend line and see if this can hold this region here and start showing some signs of accumulation, right? The higher lows, and then we get that build up, right? The higher lows, the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That is accumulation, and then you can strategize taking a trade setup like that. What's Glimmer doing? This one just really hasn't done anything this cycle so far. Making lower lows. This thing's wrecked, man. 23 on the RSI. For sure in the buy zone. Look at the volume kind of tapering off here. I mean, if this isn't the bottom for this coin, I don't know what is. You're showing the 3-day bullish divergence here as well, with the low and the higher low, with the lower low on price. I mean, this one, guys, if this one doesn't do a major move here, I would be shocked. Like, to me, this looks like it's going to do like something pretty crazy down here. Okay. Like, it would not shock me if this thing did one of these and then just started to just really go. All right. Pay attention to Glimmer. This one looks pretty good. Probably Moon River as well. This one also pretty wrecked. Yeah, type 2 returning, right? Retesting the low. Definitely an area of potential value for this coin. You can see the 3-day stochastics pointing up. 2 days into buy zone, right? We're below 25 on the RSI, below 20 on the 2-day. We just got a buy signal right now on this thing, right? We're definitely below here's the 200-day moving average, right? We're below 26, below 20 stochastics. This is probably the bottom for this asset, okay? You guys listening? Like this one, we could easily see this trade back up at the top of the range. Eventually, I'm not even kidding, guys. Eventually, we could see these targets. Okay, $33 to $100. This would just be a bear market rally for this asset. Okay. Nice flap. Yeah, I think this is gonna be good. The tokenomics are really good for an asset to go up, right? It's only got like 6 million tokens. Like, what is that? That's nothing. Volume receding at the bottom of a range. I mean, not a lot of people. No one's really selling here, right? This is not an area you want to be selling. It is a descending triangle, right? You're at the bottom, but you're at the actual bottom of this triangle. I wonder what's going to happen here, guys. I wonder. Yeah. Okay. What else you guys got? You guys have any coins you guys want to look at? The super rare coin looks interesting down here. Tron. Already elevated, man. But yeah, I mean, 2-day stochastics looking like continuation. Weekly stochastics pointing to continuation. You're in a squeeze. I mean, but like I said, you're not in an optimal area to take a long trade on this, right? Even though you have looks like you had a breakout, you definitely broke this area here. Okay, and you're making higher highs and higher lows. It's just not in the buy zone right now. It's already elevated, already started its move. So I wouldn't be wanting to take a lot of risk here, right? But yeah, I mean, I still think you could see some upside. Like your monthly stochastics are still kind of ticked up here. The 2-week, you're already up here. Your RSI is not extended yet. You're just going bullish on the 2-week. You're in a squeeze too. So like you could see TRX make a big move for sure next couple weeks here. All right. No doubt. I'm not saying it can't go up. I think actually it is going to go up. Just I personally am not strategizing to buy this asset because it's already way out of the zone. Right? The momentum already kind of surpassed my area to start buying something. True story, Flap. Yep. Band protocol setting up here. This one likes to make major moves when it does move. You can see it basing out right here. volume receding, momentum oscillators ticking back up here, right? You're sitting pretty close to the buy zone, 36 on the RSI. Watch this one. This one move. This one can move. Right, maybe you got some sort of cup with handle structure here. Watch for the trend line break. And actually, it's technically out. It's just sideways in this range. Filecoin not really doing anything yet. Just kind of sitting here. Like I said, we're going to have to probably be patient in Filecoin. This one is just consolidating right now. But our 2-hour stochastics look good. 3-hour stochastics look good. 4-hour just crossing up, right? This is looking pretty good. I'm looking for a break to about that 520 region, okay? 518. That would be the trend line here on this falling wedge structure, right? So we may not break it, but I would like to trade it to the resistance. And if it does break it and back test it as support, I will re-enter again, because then we'll look to trade it to that $9 range. Okay, right. A wedge break would mean we go back up to the top of the wedge, which is like right around $9. And there's not a lot of trading volume here. So like if they do take it up there, it's gonna blow right past that and probably break out of the major channel. And then we're looking at a major swing trade opportunity up to about that $16 level. Once we do break those levels, right? So it all starts down here. If it can start to pick up some momentum, we can really trade this all the way up, right? That's what I'm looking at here on Filecoin. I'm thinking this is a value area. Looking left, you can see that this was an area of previous support. It broke down. This capitulation here in December, and we broke back out of it, and then used that 465 level. If we start consolidating and using 465 as support, there is a very, very good chance we see a nice markup in price on this asset. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I have an entry like right around here, 449, and I'm looking to trade this again. You guys are just joining or listening in. Looking to trade this up to about $5.16, or maybe that 520 area it might wick up to. We start claiming that area as support. We're looking to test the daily 200-day moving average, which is like right around what is this? About $6, right? You start claiming $6 as support, then we can talk about getting up to about that 850 region. Okay. So yeah, just be patient. Oscillators are looking good. At least over the next 3, 4, 6 hours. The RSI is down here. It's coiled up on the RSI. We're about to come out of oversold territory. So low risk opportunity down here. That's why I'm in this trade. Lots of upside potential with this asset. We know when Filecoin starts to move, it makes major moves. All right. We'll check back in a couple days here with you guys on the Filecoin setup. So hopefully all you guys were paying attention and appreciate the session. I'm trying to really grow the socials and grow what I'm doing here. I'm going to probably do some more of these live trading sessions on YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be talking about mostly the same stuff because it's really the same thing. It's like over and over again. It's like charts are just price oscillations, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so if you can understand to understand those oscillations, you will have success when trading. I mean, it's just really that simple, right? So people like to overcomplicate this stuff. It's not that complicated. It can be overwhelming if you're a new trader and you don't understand some of the lingo or even what an oscillator is, or what an area of support or area of interest is. And but the more you practice, the more you understand, the more you see the same things over and over again, the more confident you'll be able to get with your trading. And I'm here for you guys. I'm going to continue to give you guys my time and really just do it for free, man, because I think lots of people need that push, need that value, and I think that's a necessary thing. Like, how else are you really going to be successful at something if you don't understand the basics? Like, lots of people want to just get into bot trading and they want to, like, get rich tomorrow type of thing, but it's not necessarily how it works. And you need to understand how to trade with the momentum to know when to take a risk or when not to take a risk. And even then, nothing is perfect. Like, maybe the oscillator is pointing up, but the price is coming down. Like, you need to be patient with things and just take it slow and really understand what's happening with the charts. And that's kind of why I'm here. I'm kind of here to try to help you guys move through that. I make mistakes too. I'm down on some swing trades that I bought in June, July, but I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing here, and I think we're going to see this whole market actually do some crazy things, but not till 2024, right? So it's really the time to understand and learn and build right now the foundation of your trading journey throughout this cycle. And I think that's the most important thing, especially if you're new at this and you're just learning kind of how to trade. Because if you can understand what the charts are telling you in a bear market, then in a bull market, you won't have a problem, right? Anyone can look at me. Anyone can do well in an up market, right? It's about a market that's going down or sideways or chopping or doing things that aren't necessarily conducive, to really make the money in a bear market. It's difficult. So if you can understand when we're at areas of value and how to trade with the momentum, then you will be on your way to lots of success in trading. So sorry for my spiel there, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the weekly candle close. All right. You guys have any other questions or comments, or what I do with my trading and how I identify things and stuff like that? Sure, Toe. You were in the kitchen. What were you making in the kitchen? I'm liking Kusama down here. Starting to show that 2-day bullish divergence here on the momentum oscillator, right? You guys see the low and the higher low coming in here on the momentum with the lower low on price. You got your 2-day stochastics below 20. You have we're below the 200-day moving average here around 64. We're in the buy zone, right? We're in the buy zone right now on Kusama. It's late, huh? Okay. Yep. So we're still in the follow coin trade. We do have a stop loss on this at the lows here. If we do break the lows, this $4, the bottom of the range here, this $4 area. If we end up breaking that, then we're probably going to see the price come all the way back down to $3. So we have our stop loss there, and if the trade doesn't play out, well, we can always find another trade. But we know that Why does this always do this? Yeah, so we know that so this is our entry around 449, okay, and our stop loss is there, and we're trading this to about that resistance, so almost about a 2-to-1 risk to reward just on this little trade. Actually, I think my stop is around 430 or something. My stop is a little tighter than what I'm saying here. It's like around 430. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting about a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio if this trade plays out, and if it does play out, we know that we could probably extend this trade or re-enter this trade after taking profit into this resistance. Once we reclaim this as support, and then we consolidate up here, and we do one of these, right? We get up here and we consolidate, and then we start to do this. Then we can trade this movement, right? And that's kind of what we're talking about in the longer term here. Because this will be a nice reversal, and then we can trade this back up to 16 bucks. All right. Anything else, guys? You guys want to talk about any other type of strategies or things that maybe you guys do that, you know, helps you guys make trading decisions? Or you know, I've kind of talked about what I do here, and you know what I'm looking for, and you know, momentum oscillators and our relative strength, and kind of area of confluence and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys have any other things you guys like to look at when looking for a trade setup. Definitely put that in the chat and talk about it real fast. Dusk, we can take a look at it. How is the DXY doing? DXY is getting rejected at the 103 region right now. It looks like a wedge, and yeah, it does look like we're going to maybe see DXY maybe catch some bids, right? The momentum on the weekly is just crossing up right now. But your daily momentum is kind of, you know, topped out, or looking topped out here. So we could get a retracement here. But yeah, I mean, I think the short term here for the dollar is probably some upside for the dollar, which isn't necessarily good for Bitcoin. But we don't expect a real run at a Bitcoin until next year anyway. So Bitcoin can go test, you know, 30, 40K again or something, and then come back down and retest the bottom of its ranges and kind of consolidate, right, for a bit. I think the last half of this summer is going to be an altcoin run, and it's not going to be a Bitcoin run. But yeah, so the daily is still below the 200 moving average. You know, I have a long signal here. This is a wedge, looking like structure on the Dixie. Weekly, yeah, like I said, weekly is looking pretty strong for movement up on the dollar coming weeks. So probably not the best for Bitcoin, right? But we're right now on the daily, in terms of the daily, we're towards the top of this range. So this can come back down and retest this area here. And so far, it's not producing any higher highs. It's just making the same lows and retesting these ranges here right now. So we'll see. I mean, even though we got the weekly momentum slated up, if it doesn't start making closures above here, you know, this can get easily turned around, right? The 3 days already, you know, elevated on the momentum, right? The 2 days already elevated on the momentum. So we'll see how that goes for the dollar. And we still have a short signal in on the 2-day chart. Our daily went long, but we could see maybe a rejection here. If we do see a rejection here, this could end up breaking this support and actually breaking down. Okay. So this level of support here is pretty big, this 100, 101 region on the DXY. Yeah, so I was thinking that we get like a fake out, right, on this break, right? So fake out, breakout, and then dump. We get the double top stuff, right? That's what I think. That's what I'm projecting to happen to the dollar here. But we'll see how this plays out. Dusk. Take a look at dusk. Sure, let's take a look at it. Flagging, right? This looks like a nice flag here on dusk. Maybe a wedge setup here on dusk. 2-day chart. Stochastics elevated here above 20, so that's nice. You can see that you're coming back into neutral from bearish, so that's great. Yeah, I like this setup, man. This looks good. This kind of looks like Filecoin, right? Right, your 3 days just coming up right now. Like you get a nice buy signal. You're in a squeeze. That looks good, man. That looks good for some upside for sure. Whoever asked about that. I like it. I don't see why you can't. I don't see why you can't trade this back up to the top of the range, which is about that 25-cent region. That's a 70% move, man. That's great. Wonderful. All right, let's see how that plays out. Momentum is looking nice for this one. All right, guys. Yeah, absolutely, man. Flow. Yeah, let's take a look at flow. He was rolling all the way over here the other before. I just had him keep rolling over here. Yeah, so flow, you guys know I've been buying flow down here around that 74-cent region. I think that flow, once the NFT market starts to pick up, basically once we start getting into this bull run and NFTs start becoming a thing again, flow is really going to take off because they're in with all these major brands. And this is my speculation, okay? Like I think flow is a superior. It's got all the superior brands. Like it's got Ticketmaster, it's got Instagram, NBA, Top Shot, NFL. Like all the majors, man, are involved with flow. So I do think it's going to be a nice long-term play, and they do offer some yield, right? 8% APY. So yeah, I think it looks good. You're getting that retest from this low. You got the 2-day stochastics ticked up here. Yes, you're in the buy zone. You're at 30 on the RSI. So I know my rules are 26, but it's pretty close, man. It's really, 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 really close to the buy zone here. And your weekly RSI is wrecked, man. It's at 32. But you can see it's trending up, right? It's probably going to make a higher low right here off this low, which would correspond to the higher low on price. The weekly momentum oscillator is below 20 now, so we're getting that reset on the weekly, right? The 6 days starting to cross up, the 5-day probably crossing up, right? 4-day crossing up. All of them are slowly swinging back up. So you know that this is probably the low to take a swing. Looks great, man. This looks great. I know it didn't perform very well during this mini run here from January, but like I said, the long-term outlook for this project I think is really good, really great. All right, guys. All right, I appreciate all you guys joining the stream here ad hoc. I know I just kind of decided this morning that I was going to do this stream, so thank you guys for joining. Hopefully you guys got some value out of it. Make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already, and we'll catch you guys in tomorrow's stream. All right, the weekly candle close tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much, and we'll keep you updated on this Filecoin trade. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend.